All right, let's get to the offensive side because that is the hot topic. So let's start with De'Aaron King. We're gonna talk about the wide receivers, but let's talk about De'Aaron King. Is De'Aaron okay? Let's see. He came in with a lot of hype. I love De'Aaron King. To me, De'Aaron King is our quarterback number one. But does De'Aaron King is he having problems throwing the ball? Does he have a problem connecting on long balls, throwing across the middle when he has to make reads? What are we thinking about De'Aaron King after back-to-back iffy games?
No, there's no question that it was two subpar games in a row. Clemson is its own different animal. The scheme got to him. The offensive line did him no favors. The receivers did him no favors. So I'm not even really thinking about Clemson. But strictly looking at today, Pitt's a legitimate defense, not just in the ACC but nationally as well. They had him looking confused at times. He was hesitating. There's no physical deficiency with King. He can throw the ball as far. He has zip on it. Especially throwing the ball downfield. We'll talk about the receivers, but they don't help him much at all. Especially not even just with drops, but being physical. But on the one interception where they returned it down to the one, that was a great job by Pitt. They showed one look and then eventually dropped back into a cover two. And he had no idea that the defensive back was going to be where he was. So I think that he may have a deficiency in being able to read defenses to a certain point. He may have a little bit of the predetermined, I think I'm going to go here before the ball snapped, which is normal. A lot of quarterbacks do that. But, when you're facing a good defense, I can take advantage of it, and they have the physical talent. They can turn those mistakes into turnovers and eventually flip the momentum of the game.
Hold up. If you're not signed up with the Patreon squad, aka the Kane Gang, then what are you doing? Get signed up right now. Link in the description and in the pinned comments. And for less than a cup of coffee, you can get the extra content, the exclusive content, the ad-free content, the early access content, the film breakdowns that I can't put on YouTube because YouTube will strike your boy down. Hey, we turning up on the Patreon squad, the Kane Gang. Get over there right now. Link in the description. And if you're already a member of the Kane Gang, I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of this content. I'm moving my hands, a lot of hand movement. I think, and this has been something at Houston too. I did like a little film breakdown. He does have a problem, and this is something we've seen the first couple games, is his passes deep, and we're going to talk about those wide receivers next. That wide receivers don't do him a good, don't give him a lot of help, but he does have trouble connecting with the deep ball. I think anybody who's watched film has seen that. Now, was that the wide receiver's fault? Is that King's fault? I think it's a little bit of both, because there's been a couple plays where King throws a great pass, the wide receiver don't make the play, and then there's been a couple plays where King throws the ball and it's not a good ball. It's not a good deep ball. But I will say this about King. When we had other quarterbacks, I'm not going to really say any names, but I felt as if they threw an interception, that was going to take them out of the game. But with King, I feel like if he makes a mistake, it's just on to the next play. If he gets sacked, it's on to the next play. A lot of times, King does a great job of keeping us from getting sacked. So because of his mobility, he can, he can scramble and he can throw the ball away. Or on his way down, he can throw the ball away, which I like. What I like about King is he's a leader and he's a fighter. And to me, it seems like his emotions don't go up and down. They stay the same. And I think there's something to be said about that. What do you think?
His maturity is definitely one of his greatest assets. I've never seen him put his head down. I've never seen him, kind of throw his hands up or, kind of yell at the receivers after a drop or, miscommunication, anything like that. So he's kind of like that, a good baseball pitcher that they don't, they give up a home run and then, it doesn't affect them. They, get right back into it, strike out the next guy. His deep balls, Their lower percentage throws as it is, but it's definitely something that's probably going to hold him back in terms of trying to be an NFL quarterback. He put, against FSU, he put the one ball right on the money to D Wiggins in stride, but it seems like every other deep ball is either short or he overthrows them. And just with those, the ones that come up short, that's when the receivers don't help him out. If they did, maybe we're having a different conversation in terms of, his accuracy downfield. But, as it stands now, that's the biggest, point of pain for us as an offense is we can't drive the ball downfield successfully. And that's letting the defense kind of tee off against our running game and our, zone read game.
And I think what we got to remember as a fan base is I think sometimes when we get a new player or we get a player, we think they can't make mistakes. King is going to make mistakes. He's human. Everybody makes mistakes. But my thing is, how does a player bounce back from that mistake? How does King bounce back from? And I think he bounced back strong. And I think he's our guy. And I know there's going to be a lot of people giving him slack. And if you want to talk about his accuracy down the field, I'm right along with you. Everybody can improve. I think that's where King needs to improve. But he's definitely our QB1. And I'm definitely happy to have him here at Miami. So I definitely want to say that. So let's get to those wide receivers, man. It's just getting bad now. And